When am I gonna start talking about the game itself? Let's get right to it! Because today's agenda is smockful. Smockful of stuff. Chat, thank you. Thank you for the reception for the video last week and for the content last week. I'm happy that you enjoyed both the update and the the talking about the update, especially on the YouTube front. Because my god, what an astrobanger. I am so happy. I'll say it without hesitation. I am so happy that I personally, being in this video, I still personally feel like, yeah, that video is an all-timer for the channel. It's so good. I don't drink coffee. 2 cups before 8 a.m. After 8, no. No, not anymore. That trailer was fucking phenomenal. It was so funny and so fun to make. Look forward to way more of those with the bigger beats of the game going forwards, because there will be more bigger beats. Today, however, we're having a smaller beat. Because today, I think the patch should be out now. And if it's not, it's any moment. Because last I saw Uzu, which was like half an hour ago, he was in a meeting. And I haven't had time to play Satisfactory all day today, so I'm not actually sure if the patch has hit EXP or not already. Specifically EXP, there's a patch for EXP coming, not live. So PC, experimental. Jason, stop pinging my ears, man. I'm online on Teams. I shouldn't be. Let me go busy on Teams chat, sorry. Before this keeps derailing my thoughts. Do not disturb. The patch should be out any moment now. If it's not now, it will be very, very soon. And let's talk about what is in the patch, because we have fixes coming out for you today, obviously, and we have fixes coming out for you in another patch next week. The stuff next week is what couldn't be done for this week, and this week we focused on the highest prio stuff in terms of what we feel we felt was needed for the game to function smoothly, and what you guys, this is important, what you guys upvoted and pushed forward the most on the QA site. Because we are going to talk about the patch today and the fixes in that patch. We're going to talk about the patch next week. We're going to talk about feedback we have seen across Reddit and Discord, what we have heard, what I personally have escalated and brought to the devs on my own end today. But important, chat, that truly, really, if you want something to be fixed, either post it on the QA site, or if it's on the QA site, push it already. Vote it, comment on it, bring more examples of, yep, this happened to me too. Yep, if you do this, that happens too as well. That is the one place where we will all kind of, at least the people who like really hands-on work with the game, they will all always make a loop, check it, work off of that site first and foremost. And we are trying to, again, like if we see feedback resonate, especially from the QA site, also on Reddit and Discord, so like echoing all over the place, yeah. We make internal notes of what feels more important for you guys that we fix. But first and foremost, that QA site is the de facto place to go. Pinging me and Jason on Discord, not the devs, just me and Jason, that's fine. But that's also the worst way to make sure your bug fixes get loudly heard. If you want us to see them, yeah, sure. But ultimately what we do is just also try to like squeeze this by the devs. Not at all with the same sense of urgency that you might feel for what you pinged us about. Whereas if it's on the QA site, that's something that the devs approach with their own mindset, their own like knowledge of, I've seen this error this amount of times, etc. So yeah, just a long spiel about the QA site being important. What's up, Doug? Oh my god, this chat is flying by today. Oh, it's fast. Anyway, I'll try to respond to chat as we go, but we have a huge agenda for State of Dev today, so let's just hop straight into the fixes. What is going to be fixed today, or might already be? Many of you experienced what you felt was random crashes in the game on EXP when you played, and we isolated this with some help. Again, thank you for all of you who noticed patterns in how the game crashed. Satisfactory took a shit in a dumpster fire whenever you placed a blueprint that contained a Hypertube branch. So if that feels familiar to you, you just are up and about, you place your Hypertube blueprint, and boom, the game goes up in smoke. Yeah, that's why. Oops, our bad. No patch yet, then it should be out very soon. It should be out today, and it should be out within 2 hours, because can you fix my relationship with my girlfriend? I can barely fix mine with my own, so nah, man, you're dead last in queue. So we have fixed that, as well as some other completely random crashes, like up to standard optimization, but for specific 100% repro crashes, yes, placing a Hypertube branch. Was crashing your game. That's not happening anymore. The UI has had an issue with the equipment widget appearing in inventory slots. If you don't know what the equipment widget is, it's a small cogwheel icon that appears in the top right corner of an icon for equipment. That appeared in inventory and could be very obtrusive when you try to interact with items in the inventory. That's gone. That's been fixed. The cogwheel should no longer appear in inventory randomly. The Z key does not work. That is not a camera. That's a microphone. That is a camera. The Z key did not work when you keybound this, or you bound shit to this key on a standard AZERTY, A-Z-E-R-T-Y layout. Who can we blame for this, chat? Who can we blame for the Z key not working? There is a specific country, actually, that we can blame for the Z key not being plausible for key bindings. Blame Emmett? No. Think bigger. Unfortunately, he's from the, I was about to say wrong nationality. There is no wrong nationality, chat. There isn't. But in this case, France? Yes. Bingo. Bingo. Why France? Can you tell me why it's France? Focus? I feel like I'm on top of the world. I don't need to focus. Did you just shitpost it France? Because it is France. But did you just shitpost, or do you actually know why? Because they're the one with us. Oh! There you go. That's actually very true. I gave away AZERTY too early. Yeah, I did. That's true. Yes, France is the country with the AZERTY keyboard. And what this means, chat, is that effectively the Z key fills the same functionality as the W key. So the walk forward function in the game would override what was otherwise on the Z key in everywhere, because of the layout in France specifically. So the issue was worldwide, but the root cause was the French keyboard. So if you bound anything to Z on experimental, that didn't work. That should now be doable post-patch today as well. Some patterns. I saw a good couple of pictures about this already, actually. It's very funny. To anyone who had very nice, neat roads with road marks, are they called road marks? Just, like the white stripes lined up along a road. If you had those and they had taken a twisty rotational turn in EXP, yeah, oops, that's our bad too. For some reason, randomized patterns on foundations, they just, surfaces in general, rotated as you booted up EXP, and then they stay rotated forever. If you went and cleaned up after us, yeah, good on you, it's your build, you want it to look the way you do, so I'm happy it's back to the way it's supposed to be, but the fact that it wasn't in the first place in EXP is because of us. So patterns should no longer rotate. By the way, chat, if you are tuning in right now, I see some people tuning in right now. If you're tuning in right now, I'm just gonna keep blabbering about, not repeating what's being fixed in a patch being pushed to Satisfactory 1.2 EXP experimental today. If it is not very, very soon, it should be within 2 hours. If it's not within 2 hours, it should still be today, but that means Uzu is working overtime, and that's bad. So it's gonna be within 2 hours. So yeah, patch fixes for EXP. What else do we have? Zooping for automated gases and roll-up gates can be done as a box. Wait a second. What is this? Was not on the list earlier today. I just read that off because I had no idea what this is. Oh yeah, no. Sorry. Yes, exactly. Holograms are not allowed to be zooped into 2 axes, but this one was for some reason. Specifically automated gas and the roll-up gates. So if you found this to be like a nice little quirk quality of life, no, we are not about to allow you to zoop stuff in 2 axes. That's an error on our part. So it's gonna go back to straight lines. Sorry. Build effects on all beams are broken. So when you, or have been fixed, they were broken. When you put a beam down in experimental, the animation may or may not have played, but you would see the entire beam just kind of being like a little black box before its texture just pops into place. Very unnaturally, very, buggily. So the animation just went poof there somehow. That's being fixed as well today. Inventory closes. This one is funny, chat, because this one is actually not fixed. It's on the list. It's the one thing that is in today's patch list. but it's not fixed. Because I left it here, because I want to ask you. I'm gonna pay attention to chat now. Extra. No, Andrew, I cannot. Go watch the VOD. But if you're on Twitch, you can't, because Twitch sucks like that. Chat. If you enter Q into the interdimensional or dimensional depot search bar, does the depot close? I'm gonna breathe for 10 seconds. If you press Q. Not in this, not in chat, in the dimensional depot search bar. By the way, like just to hard confirm, because I see some people. But it's already been released. Oh, well then people are lying to me. Excellent. If it's out, it's out. I haven't played the game today. Full disclosure. So I actually just don't know. I haven't even opened Steam today, so I don't know. I never press a Q into anything. You never press Q? Bro, you're missing out. That's like half the game right there. No? YouTube is saying no as well? Okay. Cool. If there is even a singular person in chat who sees their dimensional depot inventory close as you press Q into the search bar, please post about that in detail on the QA site specifically, because we are trying to track that. It's come up a couple of times, but not in detail and not reproducible, even though we follow steps provided, because the steps are just too detailed. So if it's happening, okay, we know that it is, we have heard it, we'll just try to repro it. Opening the game right now, thank you. Be my warriors, chat. Second to last, the last one is my personal favorite, that is being fixed. The second to last is that mouse sensitivity, something that would annoy you way more than you might realize if it's behaving unexpectedly, which it did in EXP, because mouse sensitivity reset every time you boot up the game. That is no longer the case. Sorry about that. Mouse sense is fixed, yes. Yes. Highly intrusive, highly annoying. It's fixed. Yay. Chat. The last fix we have for today's patch. The last fix, and again, if you just tuned in, we've talked patch fixes. It is gonna be posted on Discord. It's gonna be posted, excuse me, on media, and you will be able to find it. If you missed my blabbering, that's better than, you know, that's good, because that means you can actually read it more comprehensively at your own pace at any moment now. My last and favorite fix, chat, is that when 1.2 hit EXP last week, I looked forward to people sharing world seeds with each other. Maybe you know where I'm going with this. It was very hard to share or join, rather, someone's seed when the feature we provided and the world seed little box to enter the seed in that we provided resets every time you pressed confirm and close the menu. Yikes. Oops. That's not good. Partly because world seeds would be very fun to just play around with, and partly because we really want to see people test them, because, you know, that's happening. Par for the course. Par for the course. Will there be a world seed generator? We are talking about that right now. Is stream having issues? I see people... What's it? Menno Gamed says reboot stream if you haven't. I guess some people are having issues with stream. It's not mine. I'm fine. World seed should be fixed now, yes. If you find a seed, you should be able to confirm it, and the game should register that you are entering a manual seed, and you should be able to join that seed if you are being linked it. Whether it's just, you know, you want that seed that you saw online or from your friend in your own single player save, or you want to join someone's save, that should be fixed. So that's all hunky dorky. Very good. So that's all being fixed today. Those are the most urgent fixes, and we have a small list. This list is probably gonna grow until next week, and this is again next week on Tuesday. Next week on Tuesday, chat, we are also looking at fixing the first time crash report consent UI pop-up not showing up if the player is a server admin before update. So crash report consent UI, this is more server admin stuff, this is more dedicated server stuff. if the crash report consent UI doesn't pop up, we have eyes on that. And then also the crash report consent UI shows up every time you gain server access. Server admin access, which is also something we are trying to fix. Will there ever be crossplay between PC and console? And what about a blueprint manager for consoles? Blueprint manager is talked about not as a we should do this and we should plan this in for the future very soon, but it's we know you want it. We also know we want to be able to share blueprints across saves easily on consoles. Hard to do. It's very much stuff we are keeping ourselves aware of between each other. PC and console crossplay, not anytime soon at all. Also something we want, but that's a cold hard. It's not happening anytime soon. If you're waiting around for that for this year, next year, don't. It's not gonna happen. On controller, the left analog stick is the navigation with the left analog stick is broken on the main or pause menu, if you will, after entering vehicle path in the vehicle menu. A bit of a little, this one is kind of annoying because the connecting that the left stick is broken in the pause menu to you having played around with vehicle paths in the vehicle menu just before, or even a bit earlier, can be slightly hard to connect, but that's the reason why. If you're feeling the left stick being funky in the pause menu, that's the reason. Fixing that as well. And then the blueprint designer, if you're having fun with this, again, we're the fun police now. The blueprint designer is currently allowing out of bounds placement. So you have a week, chat. You have a week to go crazy with this if you really want to. But next week, we're coming down on it. Was my save? Did that? Your save is a hero save. Thank you. Thank you for the chat. Gigasick. That's what you get, Finghost. That's what you get. Oh, do tell Popcack. Light an ass under his fire. See what he rushes for. So cool. When can we get a custom hotkey for the menu respawn? The one in options is mislabeled respawn. It should read confirm respawn. Wait, so you have it? When can we get a custom hotkey for the menu respawn? Menu arrow respawn. I'm not sure I understand exactly what respawn button. Yeah, we do have an option labeled respawn that should be confirmed respawn. Isn't that kind of a given? Like, isn't that kind of... That's just kind of what I assume when I look at it. I can take another look. With a jacket. Hey, what's up, Cook? Hey, Mikael, I have a list of things that can make your spreadsheet game fun. Send it. No, don't DM me stuff anymore. Send everything to the QA site. If you have stuff, please share it with me and the rest of us on the QA site collectively. Don't forget to like the stream. Dislike the stream, man. That's also engagement. Disliking it puts me higher up on the algorithm. Mikael was having too nice of a day, so I had to drop the new patch to fix that. Can I ban this guy's ass? Hang on, wait. Uzu! Ah, he's a mod! Can I ban mods? Am I like omega powerful? I can time him out. Chat, for how long are we timing Uzu out? 10 minutes? 10 minutes? Oh shit, I think I just did. Where they're like, oh shit. Did I time him out? Uzu? Ah, he's gone. Oops. Oh well. That was a joke, Uzu. I was going to press no at the very end. We need a confirm button for that, chat. That's what we need. That's a feature. That's a feature request from me to Twitch. Where is my confirm button? Gigarip, Uzu. Oops. Maybe I'll get an angry Teams message. Nice jacket, thank you. Yeah, so that's your invitation to come down here. Be analog with stream for once. Am I in danger? Nah, you're fine, Natro. So that's the immediate stuff we're patching. I can't believe I actually timed this ass out. That's the immediate stuff we're patching for today and next week, chat. And now, I am about to talk about some spicy things, chat. Some very spicy things. Because we have had other loud feedback on sources that is not the QA site. So I urge you, if you agree with anything that I am about to say, find the same feedback on the QA site, and if you can't find it, post it there from scratch. We are making some internal tickets to track these anyway. I am making internal escalations with production to track these anyway on my end. But what the devs really need to get their asses moving is this issue is the top of the haystack on the QA side. That is what they listen to, mainly. We push that agenda. Chat. These issues I have heard much more openly about on Discord and Reddit, and while watching a lot of you guys stream. I've been talking to some of you on stream, and I've been lurking in many, many, many more streams. And if I don't talk, it's just because whenever I do, I really do want to keep conversation going, but I'm also halfway across the room somewhere else, so lurking suits me better in that moment. Chat, we are going to talk about some loud pieces of feedback that we have heard, and we want to confirm is either intended or we have heard, and to some degree we have registered. But again, if you want to reinforce it, emphasize it, post it, or reinforce it on the QA site. So the first is a point from Reddit that was highly discussed, and also by proxy on Discord, which is many of you in chat. Andrew, we're getting there. We're getting there, Andrew. Don't worry. Don't worry. If many of you may have realized that power towers now do not allow you to be inside the bounce or the hologram when you place it. This was convenient, I agree, but ultimately it was unintended. It leads to some horrendous, it can lead to some horrendous weird clipping and even issues if you are placing it down as you are inside the actual hologram. Not even under it, just inside it. But yes, even if you are in its bounds, like technically you're not actually in any of the hard metal or material of the power tower, you are just in its bound in the hologram, you will still no longer be able to put it down, and that's just to stay consistent with the entire rest of the game. Because, again, being able to place, you know the warning, a player is in the way when you try to like place anything, foundations, now power towers, any machine, anything. Yeah, power towers are now consistent with that. So maybe it feels like a little shadow nerf that we didn't post about, but it's an intended hotfix, or fix even. Game modes, chat. We have heard if game mode, or been asked if game modes could be implemented to currently existing saves. It would be fun. Apparently, it would be fun if you could take your whatever hours, 1, 2, 4, 6,000 hour factory, and implement one of the new game modes into your current save, which is not on the map. It's not in the agenda. Game modes are set as you start a new save, and thus every single save that existed before 1.2 will just be locked out of, randomized nodes or multipliers or whatever other game modes may come in the future. And we will not enable you unlocking them or like activating game modes mid-save, whether saves are pre or post 1.2. Once you make a save, it's done. Because I'm also kind of wondering, yeah, it could be kind of fun, quirky, cool, and maybe it makes sense in the early game, like you go halfway through tier 1, tier 2, and you're like, yeah, maybe trying randomized nodes would be fun after all, and you could just like flick that out. But if you're neck deep in like tier 6, tier 7, phase 4, phase 5, like tier 9 even, wouldn't that just completely obliterate all of your factories? All nodes being different, all multipliers being like wazooed, that just wouldn't work. Like you would just actually commit factory suicide. And that's like, nah. No. Why decide I'm scared for more game modes? No. Don't be scared for more game modes. It would absolutely obliterate anything you have going on in like your huge saves chat. So I don't think it's a good idea. It would be fun. Ugh. See, you say that. The amount of backlash that we got in the lead up to 1.0 when we, as far as I know, for the first time ever, moved established nodes around on the map since they were first introduced in update 1, or I don't actually know if we placed new nodes in updates 2 through 7 or 8 even, sorry. But the amount of backlash we got when we were rearranging the nodes on the map, I think that's our least liked video as well for that year. And the disasters, yes, the disasters that unfolded. The factories that were now underwater, literally. Oi, oi, oi. You remember our book? Bug, sorry. Would be fun new Kibit series for 2 years. Yep. Yeah. We did little bits and we killed it intentionally. That was me. I was the new guy here. I was like, we should do this, Newt. And he was like, new guy. I like your guts. Let's do it. And we did it. I feel like node placement shouldn't be randomized, but the slugs, summer loops, and orbs should be. Mercerspheres should be. Who knows? Because speaking of feedback and speaking of game mode, speaking of stuff you want to see, chat, is that besides now power multipliers and space elevator and part cost multipliers, people are also clamoring for why not also have multipliers enabled for the hub, like the actual tier upgrades or the upgrades within every tier in the hub. Which honestly, I mean, yeah, that kind of falls into the same like progression. You think of that as the same, more or less, at least I do, same as progressing through the space elevator. So I'm like, well, maybe. Oh shit, I haven't seen the snoot command triggered in a while. So we've heard that. Again, it's not as easy as just take this that exists from the space elevator and now copy paste that into the hub. Again, there's a lot of behind the scenes for that framework specifically. I'm not even sure if the hub in code in the backend and the space elevator progression are even set up in the same way. So they would have to interact in those different states with the current established code in different ways. Localization, which we'll also get back to why localization is a big blocker for another otherwise highly requested and agreed upon feature in the office. We'll get there. But yeah, it's not as easy as, oh, good idea, we'll do that for next week's patch. No, that would need some more development. But we've heard you, hub multipliers, and we agree. That makes sense. A bug we have heard, again, would love for more repro or more examples or more agreeing upon in the QA site. This is not a very big one, but apparently rain, if you reach the world roof, or not even all the way up there, just get very, very high up in the map, rain just stops falling, if it is currently falling, like just blinks out of existence, and then you pop down again beneath a certain level, and it just pops back into existence. And you're not above the clouds or anything. Rain just stops mid-sky for some reason. So if you agree with this, push that on the QA site. We have heard, we are tracking, we are looking for that specifically. That's a good way of putting it. Everything I'm rambling about right now, we are actively looking for if people actually agree with in the QA site. And whenever we see this, not only, I know, chat, I know, like the stream right here, right now, even across both Twitch and YouTube, makes up a very, 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 very small portion of the player base, which is humbling. Thank you. But we do also clamor about this whenever we see these posts in Reddit and Discord, or going to start at least. Be like, yo, thank you, QA site. Even YouTube comments, QA site, thank you. So rain disappears. Feedback again, chat. Rain doesn't show. This, by the way, I have it written down. But good shout. I have seen this. I just haven't actually written it for some reason. We have seen reports of weather settings being enabled and weather still just never showing. Could be terrible luck, but do tell us extensively where you are building, for how long you are playing, in what biome you are, and we can take a look at that. Did you know that rain doesn't actually run in saves that are larger than 400 megabytes? I feel like very, 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 very few people in the world will know that, and none of those are our devs. So yeah. And that's also, does rain happen in the Dune desert? I don't know. I don't know. I really should get that checked, chat. That's a very good question. I haven't built there in forever. It's my favorite starter biome, but I just haven't. I'm building in the... I started a save in the Rocky Desert, and then I've been on 16 side quests internally for Satisfactory. And I feel like if I want to make my own playthrough now, which now seems more feasible, I probably should just do another new save file and do it in the Northern Forest for reasons. Anyway, feedback chat at vehicles. Thank you first and foremost again for celebrating vehicles. The vast majority of feedback we've had is positive. We have also heard people miss the old vehicles for a couple of reasons, a couple of specific quirks they had. And one of them is that vehicles now post 1.2 in EXP. They have lost their buggy as in like Safari, like, you know, like a little Safari car, like a buggy car. Not broken code bug, but like buggy as in the vehicle, a buggy. They've lost their buggy feel of being able to like just, you know, drive raw through terrain. Just tackle dunes and uneven slopes and shit more easily. Because now vehicle paths break whenever there's not flat surface, even surfaces, and even when you just remove foundations after the fact. If you like hide jagged terrain with foundations and you dismantle said foundations, that path will actually understand that flat road or a flat surface is gone, no longer driving here. So it's a growing pain. It's, yes, cars, vehicles, by our intention, by our new design for them, they will end up feeling a bit more like trains on wheels, not quite the same, of course, and lose what separated them a little bit, with this much more just terrain tackling ability. But it's worth it. For all the jank we lose in that trade-off, it's worth it. So it's a known trade-off we've made, that vehicles will feel a bit more I guess railroaded, to put it that way. Same for vehicles. They are also no longer possible on nodes mid path, because the way you place vehicles, in case you actually never tried before 1.2 or forgot because it's been that long, is you enter a vehicle and you record the path. You start a recording for the path you want to drive, and then you drive the vehicle around until you close the loop by driving the loop. And you could then, along this driven path, have nodes that would just, like, you know, play for go or pause for stop. A loop now will have 2 truck stations, start point, end point, or just 2 truck stations. And these now act as the you know, load and deload stations. So again, a growing pain going from 1.1 to 1.2 that we acknowledge internally, and we just know that according to our new design philosophy, that's where it's headed. A bug that has been reported, again, push this on the QA site if it annoys you and you resonate. Sorting is scuffed. It seems to be inconsistent, but sorting in containers seems to be scuffed for some items. We have hard confirmed versatile frameworks and nuclear waste, which, especially in nuclear waste's case, it's kind of bad that it happens. But frameworks in containers, they stack to 50 instead of 100 in containers. And nuclear waste stacks up to 100 before a new stack is created from 500. So looking at that, if you feel that that's true, gospel, QA site, go push it. And feedback, again, back to vehicle growing pains. This is also just how it's going to be. People kind of want the ability to make roads and then have like closed rings or loops within the road. So like, think like a racket, basically. A racket or a... is it just called a like a noose, I guess? Like you have one road and then a circle at the very top. So vehicles can like go around here and then eventually finally go back down. Yeah, with the new roads being mono-directional, meaning they only go a certain way, behaving much more like trains, that's not possible to avoid collision cleanly, to make sure that vehicles always stay on their path and also never stop and just freak out like they used to before. So, may feel slightly more limited in that regard. They are limited in that regard compared to 1.1 and earlier, but so much more functioning. Roundabout might be a better word for it, yeah. So that's how that goes with those growing pains. Weather can very inconsistently hit performance very, very hard. People who have logged playing on high-end machines, we're talking 4080s and 4070s, Supers, TIs, and above, with all the other bells and whistles in your PC. Tanking, absolutely tanking on not even giga large saves from rain. So if you experience nothing we have like seen or can track properly, I don't think I have seen this on the QA side personally either. So if you feel hit by this, also post it. If it seems to happen more in one biome or close to a certain buildable, or even when it's night or day, depending on, also as many details as possible is good. So we have heard that, keeping an eye out for that to be true. My FPS got cut in half, explain. I'm a ninja. How about that one? And with the vehicle system, fluid truck stations, or just normal truck stations, should have names or be renamable so that we can very easily track them on the radar or map. Hard agree. Yes, they should be. Yes, they should be. Feedback taken. Push that on the QA site if you want it to be higher prio. Chat, we have I'm not done yet. I have more feedback. And we're getting to the real hard hitters now, chat, that we have heard across many forums, and we wish for these to be pushed on the QA site depending on how heavy you feel for them. So chat, the first one. Now, this in particular is a personal beef from me, because I made this my baby way back when 1.0 launched. And that is the FOV multiplier that used to be able to go below 1. It went to field of vision for people who are not immediately aware of acronyms. The field of vision slider for your field of vision in the game could scale between 0.5 and 1.5 before 1.0. Lots of ones and O's and points here, but bear with me. And since 1.0, the slider could only slide between 1 and 1.5, so it could no longer go below 1. And what this meant was that for ultra-wide monitors, or any resolution bigger than 16:9, I believe is the numbers off the top of my head, the game could feel highly claustrophobic when your arms and hands are very, very close to, like, very big and very close to your actual face in real life at the bottom of your monitor. And equipment could also be obtrusive, way too big, exactly. And that, Maverick, the biggest culprit in all of this, one piece of equipment being literally unusable without audio, which is the object scanner, because you can't actually see the progress bar in the object scanner. So the arguments that were brought forth internally back then, this is almost a year ago, but more actually, thinking about it. Oh no, it is about a year ago. Was graphical issues. And I'm not sure if it's expanded to something more, especially with a couple of Unreal Engine upgrades on our neck now since then. If we have to like rework something on the back end for that system now. But otherwise, if it's not, I right now am personally trying to escalate this and push this as gameplay absolutely should take precedence over graphics in this case. So if equipment slightly clips and looks janky, if people don't like it, let them still slide over one and not use the scanner. That's fine. If they really want to use the object scanner, let them use the object scanner and slide the slider down, and they can stomach the portable miners for the first half hour of the game and then never see them again. So, and jank, exactly. Jank can be really hilarious. So that is back on the table, chat. I am going to try to be semi-frequent with this because, again, it's gameplay. It's directly gameplay obtrusive, and it is my baby. So I am going to keep this as transparent as we go. As we go. What else do we have to thingy? Oh yes, chat. The chat. How many of you are acutely aware of... Did you just fall asleep on me? Little light? Chat, how many of you are acutely aware of colors and how they work? And more specifically, how many of you are acutely aware... Chat, how many of you are acutely aware of where the colors white and the color orange, where they are on this spectrum, this little circular color graph? You're aware of teal? Colors aren't real? That rhymed. Sick. Exactly. Row core enjoyer. Nice. Colors do be colors. Which spectrum? I shouldn't say spectrum. It's more about contrast. It is more about contrast. They be wiggling. I've lost. Maybe I'm using the wrong word. Anyway, it turns out white. Yeah, I know white's not a color. Bear with me, chat. It turns out white and orange makes for horrible contrast when you place white on top of orange and you place orange on top of white. Labels in the game for items have white digits on orange backgrounds. And we also in machines have orange digits on white background, which is not the easiest to read sometimes. If now we know that our player base, the vast majority of our player base, they're like you guys, around the age of 70 to 80. So, including me, our eyes are collectively melting out of our skulls with the passage of time. So it would be nice if we could be slightly kinder to our reticles as we go forward. But we are seeing the feedback that alternate colors or dark mode or something. I'm joking, chat. I'm joking. Okay, don't take that much offense. That, you know, dark modes or just color choices of like dark blue or something to make it a bit more palatable to read should be easily fixed. Technically, yes. I mean, just finding the contrast is an easy fix, and the UI is all there. It's just changing colors around. What is blocking this from happening immediately is localization, because all the small things with changing colors, being able to have a color slider of your own to customize, or just even the words dark mode on the option, all of that has to go through localization, and now also certification for consoles whenever we push updates for consoles. So it's something we are hearing. It's something we are taking into account. Do not expect this to be able to be hard pushed to 1.2 live, because that's too soon. Ooh. But down the line, we absolutely could look into going through all the localization and all the other slight shenanigans that make this harder than just a toggle dark mode and color thing. But we are hearing that people are struggling with accessibility and want to be able to more comfortably read numbers in this game, or even text. Doubly so now with consoles, and people are playing with, hopefully, a distance between them and their TV, making shit even harder to see because it's that far away. So, color is bound to localization. No, not the color. Color itself is not bound to localization. How could it be? It is the if you even as simply as adding the dark mode option, or a color wheel for you in accessibility, for you to be able to like scroll yourself. Just the option describing dark mode, like the words dark mode checkbox, or contrast wheel or whatever, and then the wheel. Those words, even those 2 or 4 words, require like a full loop of localization pass to be done, which is why it's so like to throw in there. And localization passes are not something you can just do whenever you feel like it. They have to be like, with or without consoles in mind, they have to be a package deal with something else. Sepia. So dark mode Satisfactory would go hard. I mean, we have a lot of gray and black as like background anyway in this game, right? And theme anyway, so should be fine. So we are hearing a lot about contrast and accessibility there as well. I'm still not done, chat. I have 2 more items to go. I'm saving the best for last, so let's go with the not best for now. And we are hearing, and this is a quick one, onboarding animations for the hub specifically. They are still broken, and they have been broken since 1.1. Broken in the way that at least the hub itself, when you actually upgrade the hub from in tier 0, if you play onboarding and you have tier 0, to go through, you see the hub expanding with every tier you progress through, or most of them. And these new parts, they're missing animations. They're just a black box, exactly. They are black boxes and then just pop into existence whenever the hell. So, or they stay black boxes, maybe. We've heard that once or twice, and I've never seen it myself, but you know, well, spooky game. So, that's being revived. If that bothers you a lot, QA site, we are seeing, reminding ourselves of that. And the chat. I have saved the single loudest piece of feedback for last. How many of you were ready to jump into 1.2 EXP, maybe making a new save, in which case I absolutely imagine this to be true, maybe making a new save, or maybe even just enjoying your not too far progressed save with the amazing daisy chain feature in your hands, only to realize you can't daisy chain. And why is that? Why is that? You were so sad. Me, smile. Yep. Me. Behind plastic. Behind cat here. Yes, it is locked. Someone forgot. No. It's in the game. It's in the game. And some people may not even have realized that it was in the MAM tree because they had progressed so far enough that they just had it from the get-go. Or they just unlocked it. Me. Yep. Clever up, YouTube. Daisy chaining army, rise up. CSS made it a $2 DLC now. DLC. Daisy chaining is in the game. It is also locked in the Caterium tree behind not Mark 2, but Mark 3 power poles. Now, chat, I thought it was bugged. So did I. Funny thing, so did I. Because I always tried, I always did daisy chain in testing. In fact, I actually didn't take to it until very close to the XP launching. So what little I did test it in the later tiers, I just assumed it was baseline, because I didn't actually have to interact with the MAM anymore. It was just completed entirely from dev cheats. Oops. So I had no idea. Like, I was sat there watching the video with all of you on stream last week, being like, that's it, that's daisy chaining, they'll be able to daisy chain, and oops, joke's on me. You got it right away? Yeah. And yes, you can argue for the fact that once you unlock daisy chaining, Mark 3 power poles, they may no longer serve a real purpose. They'll be kind of moot. They still have niche use cases. But so what? Like, so what? If it's such a good feature, yes, it may make the game, it may make organization easier, tidier, it may make it easier baseline, like new players who come in may not realize the nightmare of power pole and cable pasta. So what? Like, in my opinion, again, I'm currently speaking for myself, and hopefully you guys. I still have not been able to sit down proper with the devs yet, because it's been a baller week and a half, by the way, since the XP launched. But I'm a champion here, guys. I'm gonna make sure that this piece of feedback is loud, and if you want to be my chorus, chat, the QA site is the single best place for this. Again, QA site or not, I'm gonna make a ruckus about this in the office. If people hate me, if Emmett wants to kick my teeth in for the power pole or the daisy chaining, I don't care. Because it's so good. Like, if you haven't had the pleasure yet of unlocking daisy chaining, it's so good, and it deserves to be, in my opinion, baseline, but at least higher up, much higher up in the tree. Mandorake, yeah, I agree. So we are aware that people are not very happy with its placement. The thing that would make me use Mark 2 and 3 power poles would be a bigger range for the HoverPack. Not bad. Yeah, you can make your DC in the blueprinter, but that's we got such a nice gift for you, chat. So yeah. Yes, also to that point, by the way, Hans the Mage on YouTube. To that point, yeah, reaching that point in the category, like, it's not like it's, hardcore by any means. It's decently fast. It's not super endgame by any means. But it's just so nice to have in the beginning of the game. Just imagine your early factories not having to be a gigapasta of poles left and right. So, all right, chat. We spent an hour in State of Dev, which is incredible. I'm also able to log out of Teams now, because I read my list off of Teams, which is the worst idea while I'm live. But, here we are. If you tuned in mid State of Dev, or even just now, very late, we have talked about a new patch being pushed for 1.2 EXP today. It is out right now. Notes are on Reddit and should be on Discord. I haven't checked myself, but Uzu is the GOAT. I yapped about the fixes. We have fixes coming in next week as well. I yapped about those. I will yap about them again next week, so don't worry if you missed that. You will see them soon. We yapped about feedback that is being loudly heard across the web that is not the QA site. And I'm urging all of you, we've talked about the feedback, we agree with it, or we have given clarity as to why the fixes are the way they are. And if there are bugs or feature requests or feedback you still want to make loudly heard, please do note that the QA site for Satisfactory is the single best place to do that. It's no longer going to be pinging me and Jason, it never was. We tried to make it work. We really want to try to push the QA site as being the one gathering point, both externally and internally. Externally, where all of you gather all of your stuff, and internally, where we always have, and we will make an even stronger effort to always make sure that that is the single place where we check literally everything. And what we fix on the community end is what is going to be the highest upvoted or the most commented and the most discussed on the QA site. So, that's the rundown.